we ready? Are we live?
Well, thank
We're live. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the special council meeting of the Shire of Carnarvon, Tuesday the 15th of July 2025, and welcome to the people we have in the gallery. Getting straight into it, attendances, apologies and approved leave of absence. We actually have everybody here today with Councillor Cottrell on Teams from Coral Bay. Declarations of interest. Councillors, I don't think there's any declarations of interest. There's an interest in common with what we're dealing with today. Public question time. Is there any questions from the public? No questions from the public. Thank you. Questions taken on notice from the previous meeting. There are nil. Confirmation and receiving of the minutes. We don't have minutes.
No, not for just.
No. Okay. Announcements by the President without discussion. There is nil. Presentations, petitions and memorials. There is nil. We'll get straight into the departmental reports. Item 7.1. No?
You're on
What
the
have I-
old one.
I've got the old one. Yeah, because I
You've got the
gave
wrong agenda.
Ripper.
That's right. You almost got it.
I was thinking, what are you doing?
No, well, I'm going through that old one because I gave Burke my new one.
Yeah, that's right.
So, my apologies, people. Departmental reports, item 4.1, governance. Appointment of the acting CEO for the CEO's leave period. Councillors, do I have a mover for that motion? Councillor Burke-Maslin. Seconder, Councillor Vanderleer. Councillors, is there any debate or discussion on this item?
I'll speak for the motion and just wish Amanda, who is now not here, all the best. In that role, the CEO obviously believes that you've got the qualifications and experience required to step up and do that role, and I think it's a good opportunity for an internal staff member. It's great that that opportunity is being provided to an internal staff member rather. So all the best with that, Amanda, and yeah, I hope it is a good 3 or so weeks and you get a lot of experience out of it.
Thank you, Councillor Vanderleer. I'll share your sentiments. Any further comments, debate, councillors? There being no debate, I'll take that. That's adopted unanimously. 8-0.
Fine.
And Mr. Bone. Thank you. Right, councillors, moving right along. Item 4.1.2. Councillor Skender, you wish to?
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to, as we discussed just earlier, and it might be up to staff on here, so apologies. I'd like to move that we defer this to the ordinary council meeting on Tuesday the...
Cover this.
Sorry? Yeah.
Mr. Wright?
22nd of July, so one week from today. And the reasons, I'll just try and keep quick. The reasons are I am not 100% comfortable just yet in adopting the budget as presented to us today, and that is not in any way taking away from the direction from the CEO and the staff. The amount of effort that's gone into putting this together is enormous, and it's high quality. In my years here at the Shire, this is probably the most direction-changing and significant budget that's been presented to us, and I want every single councillor to be 100% comfortable that they're prepared to go to the community with the rate increases that are proposed and the driving forces that we would accept ask that council, and sorry for the last minute, I would have hoped to have done this in previous couple of weeks, but I have not been able to do that. I apologise. So I ask council, out of respect, that allow the 1 week delay and defer to the following week. And I encourage any councillor who has any queries to either have a one-on-one with the CEO, which I will be requesting and hopefully doing in the next 24 hours, and to seek any further clarification on any of the revenue or the expenses in that budget. It may be that you go to that meeting and you are highly satisfied and you adopt the budget as presented to us today. And that, you know, in an ideal world, that would be the case. So I ask for that support. Thank you.
You haven't called for a move or a second or anything, so you're not in anything in the minute. So.
No, I did. He jumped up and moved it.
Oh,
I
did
put forward that motion.
Yeah.
Councillor Skinner's put forward that motion, so before anybody had a chance to move the motions, another motion, so.
I did move, sorry.
Yes, you did. You'd moved the motion, so do I have a seconder for Councillor Skinner's motion? Councillor Farina, a seconded. Councillors, would you like to speak further for it?
No, I think, no, sir, I think, don't want to waste people's time. I think everyone has the crux of it, what
Yep.
they need. But are we voting or debating my motion of deferral or the item?
No, your motion is now on the table,
Okay.
so
Thank you.
we'll deal with that. So would Councillor Meslin, you want to?
Yeah, I'd like to foreshadow a motion.
Yep.
Just in relation of, I hear what you, understands your concerns, councillor Skinner, but in lieu of that motion not getting up, I'd like to foreshadow a motion that we adopt the officer's recommendations 1, 2, 3, basically the officer's recommendation as put in the agenda. So in case your motion doesn't get up, I'd like to foreshadow that we go back to the original recommendation as put. Do you want to speak to that now or not?
No, because we'll deal with the substantive motion first. So councillors, I have a mover and a seconder for Councillor Skender's motion to defer the item. Do I have any speakers against the motion? Councillor Kelly.
I'll speak against the motion. With all due respects, Councillor Skender, I appreciate as an individual you're probably in a not an enviable position, but as council we need to move forward with the business of council. It's an incumbent upon us when we turn up to meetings that we're fully across everything that we require. That's not a requirement of council, it's a requirement of the Act. So I would strongly recommend that we proceed with the business of council. My fellow councillors, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. Do I have any further speakers for the motion? Councillor Cottrell?
Yes, thank you. Just want to speak supporting the motion. Essentially, my position is with a decision this big. Obviously, I understand the ramifications of delaying it, but I feel unless all members of council are fully comfortable with the decision that they're going to be making, either for it or against it, I don't feel we're ready to make that decision today unless like I said, all members are comfortable to make that decision one way or the other, and if that's not the case, it should be deferred. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Cottrell. Any further speakers against the motion? Councillor Dudley Maslin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I take on board the points that are made by Councillor Skender and Councillor Cottrell. About being comfortable, I don't think there's any of us as councillors that haven't thought about this long and hard. I've come to the conclusion that, as Councillor Skender said in his remarks, that this is probably the most important budget consideration for some years to be made by this council to go forward. And I don't want to get into it, but Einstein said if you, the definition of stupidity is to keep doing the same thing and expect to get a different result. I understand that this budget has been worked on studiously by the staff, the CEO, and council has been involved, as far as I know, all the way along the road. And none of us want to, we're all ratepayers, we all live here, we all know that there's going to be a fair bit of flack. But the fact of the matter is, unless we start to make some hard decisions, we're not going to pull this community out of the mire that it's been in for some time. And I don't want to say that lightly or rudely, but we need to move forward. We need to move forward, people, and we have to make some hard decisions, and this is one of those hard decisions. And that's to back our staff that have worked with us, has consulted with us as councillors all the way along in developing this budget. I think it's an excellent budget. Councillor Skender has acknowledged that it's an excellent budget. His concerns are the same as the rest of us, that it's the ability to pay, the ability of our constituency to accept it. Well, I'm sorry, we just have to make these decisions because that's what we're elected for. So I'm speaking against the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dudley Maslin. Any further speakers for the motion? Any further? Councillor Skender, would you like to close the debate if there's no further speakers?
No further speakers, no.
I'll speak against the motion.
Okay.
I understand Councillor Skender's views, but in a similar vein to the other councillors speaking against the motion, I think we need to debate the budget. I don't know whether the staff have put together more than enough information and provided us with more than enough information for us to debate what we're seeing. And I'd like to debate it today and have that conversation.
Thank you, Councillor Vanderland. Now, Councillor Skender, would you like to?
Yeah, debate closed.
Okay, thank you. With that, gentlemen, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour?
Call it out.
3, 5, Mr Bain. Therefore, the motion is lost. Councillor Maslin, would you like to move your motion, please?
Yes, Mr President, move the motion and looking for a seconder to put the officer's recommendation forward and adopt their recommendations as put in the agenda. So looking for a seconder, before I speak to that.
I'll second
Sit
that.
down. Thank you, Councillor Kelly. So, Councillor Maslin. Councillor Maslin, would you like to speak for your motion, please?
Yes, Mr President. Right, with all due respect to Councillor Skender and the other councillors, and you use the word comfortable, well, at times in previous times I've felt the same way you have, and I've used my right to vote against, and I reserve that right if you decide to do so. I note also that we went out and advertised these rate changes or the increases publicly, and in the ward that I represent, the Gaspar Community Ward, not saying it's specifically that because you represent all people can when you're sitting at this table. We normally had regularly 2 pastoral properties that put in objections without fail every year. I've got people watching it like a hawk. We've had 0 objections, not just in the pastoral ward, but 0 objections in writing from the plantation ward or the town wards that you guys are here representing and elected. So my understanding is there has been no public submissions put forward back to us as council and the staff with any objections. I'm comfortable that with going to at least another 2 public meetings where we had, I think when she discounted the staff, we had 26 people from the community turn up to that public meeting, that quite confident that could be explained, answer any question, and this budget, as put, can be justified to the public. So, in line with other councillors, we've been consulted, we've been we've asked the questions, it's been worked over studiously. It's not, every time we try and protect everybody and just go back, oh, just what's the bare minimum? Now's not the time to ink yourselves, it's time to stand firm. If you had any objections beforehand, we've had plenty of time to go over it. We've got it as put, it's been explained quite clearly, so I urge all councillors to support staff on this motion and basically to support your community to get these grant projects done and to execute the projects, the major capital projects that are going to be happening in the next 12 to 18 months. To get those done, we need to adopt this budget as put. That's why I urge fellow councillors to support this as put and not defer it.
Thank you, Councillor Maslin. Do I have a speaker against the motion?
This will classify as inking myself, I suppose, according to Councillor Maslin. Look, no, all jest aside, I'm going to try and compress about 3 weeks of almost thinking about this solely 100% into about 30 seconds of spiel, because this has absorbed more time reflecting than I like to admit. But after considerable reflection, I've decided not to support the proposed budget. As it currently stands, the combination of 3 principal concerns has led to that decision. Those concerns are the extent of some of the increases in expenditure, the net decrease in reserves, and the extent of the rate increase. Combine these 3 factors raise, for me, a macro level issue and my apprehension is this budget I'm concerned it's not sustainable and appropriate for the scale and context of our Shire, and that's just purely an opinion thing. While I appreciate the staff's budget justification and the pressure they've outlined, it's my view that the proposed level of rate impost and the proposed spend of that resource is disproportionate relative to our community's capacity and to pay and services we deliver. I fully acknowledge the quality and detail of the information and rationale presented by the staff. And I really can't stress that enough. There's no more information that can be provided with me. I've got enough information to consider. This is, you guys are working from that level and coming up to us, and I'm coming from that level, coming down. I start at the revenue figure and work my way back, and I understand there's a different approach to the staff. So I fully acknowledge the quality and the detail and the rationale. However, when I balance out all those considerations, the community's needs, expectations, future planning, and take what is in my view a long-term view, even though I know that's debatable, I just land on a different answer, and I wish I didn't, but I do. So I'll be voting against it.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Vanderlei. Speaker for the motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, fellow councillors, I rise in support of the recommendations attaching to this agenda item. I acknowledge, as we all must, that this budget includes a rate increase above what might be considered typical. I also recognise that the budget encompasses a wide range of council responsibilities, associated expenditure, employee costs, service delivery, asset maintenance and investment in our community's future. Let me be clear, the decision to support the 25-26 budget has not been taken lightly by myself as a councillor. My support is based on a careful review of the information presented during the budget briefings, a review of our long-term financial plan and our community strategic plan. These documents guide or should guide our deliberations and underpin responsible decision making. As councillors, we are not tasked with making popular decisions. We are tasked with making responsible ones. The Local Government Act outlines our role clearly, oversee the allocation of finances, resources, plan strategically for a sustainable future, and determine services and service levels. Our long-term financial plan, specifically developed to chart the Shire's long-term financial path, shows the need for sustained and incremental rate increases to ensure financial stability or sustainability. In recent years, we have not consistently met these targets. Secondly, underinvesting in a properly resourced and skilled workforce is neither prudent nor sustainable in my view. It comprises service delivery, compromises service delivery and weakens our ability to deliver on council's strategic objectives. The budget supports the staffing structure necessary to deliver what our community expects. The long-term financial plan also outlines a pathway to modest surpluses and rebuilding our reserves. This is critical. Whilst Carnarvon is asset rich, many of our assets, a bit like us around the table, ageing or very old. Without adequate resourcing and forward planning, we risk failing in our stewardship for future councils and for generations to come. I therefore urge my fellow councillors to view this budget not as a ledger of line items, but through the lenses of a long-term sustainability. I won't be here much longer, Mr. President. I share the concerns of those around us about the rate increases. However, we have an opportunity through this process and some processes that will be coming in October and after. We've got some important work to do on our asset management plan. We've got to finalise a workforce plan. We've got to update our corporate business plan, and all those informing documents will be able to provide us a better evidence-based document in our long-term financial plan. Yeah, that's the end of the day, what's going to drive us. The time to make strategic decisions is now. We are well informed, I believe, as the speakers before me have stated. In closing, again, I commend this budget for adoption. Let us equip the CEO with the full complement of resources necessary to deliver our strategic objectives, and let us as council expect performance, monitor the outcomes and provide guidance and support required for success. And just finally, I'd like to thank the CEO and her team for the well-structured and transparent budget workshop. It is evident that the CEO is across the detail and that she expects the same standard from her team. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. Any further speakers against the motion?
It's difficult to speak against the motion when you have Councillor Kelly speaking so well and in his support for it, which I commend, because when you listen to that, it's hard to go against the motion. However, and I'll be quick, and I feel like a bit of a broken record today. There are a number of reasons why I can't support the budget today, which we spoke about earlier, and some key dot points, and I don't have anything really prepared like some fellow councillors, which is a bit of a shame. But one of my concerns, and genuine concerns, is the real capacity for our community to be able to pay these rates. As we alluded to earlier, Councillor Kelly alluded to earlier today, there seems to be a gap of around 6 or 10% of rates collectible already, whether that's through their capacity to pay or our current staffing levels with rates officers. I don't know. It is still an indicator that we need to consider. The ratepayer, there's also an element which should not be ignored, and that's perception as well from the ratepayer, which then creates a positive or a negative momentum in the community and mood as well. So it is a concern of mine that if we have a significant rate increase, then how is the perception from the community, and then we will have no option but to really perform and give them there'll be no excuses basically if we adopt today's budget. We would really need to commit and not fail. The workforce, we're looking at an over $1 million increase in the workforce, and understand that a significant portion of that, I think almost 1.2 million, is funded for the next year or two. It's still a net increase of about 400,000, I believe, on last year. which is still a significant amount. I believe, there's different drivers to that. There's a wage increase to the staff. We are reporting a full contingent instead of reporting an 85% contingent of a workforce. We're reporting 100%, and then there's new additions to the staffing as well through project teams, etc. So, from what I can see, those are the three big drivers to the expenses on the employee expenses. And as a councillor, you have to find a balance between, which the other councillors have alluded to, what's the balance between how much do we invest in our organisation, what we can deliver, and what's the community expectations. So currently, I'm not comfortable with this significant amount of investment into our staffing and staffing levels. I would love to do that, but it's about finding that balance. Secondly, thirdly, fourthly, I don't know where I'm up to, the reserves. Even though we're looking at a significant increase in rates, an average I think about 8.5%, I think it's as high as about 10.5 and as low as 7 across the board, across the different rating categories. A lot of that through the rate increases is going into new expenditure. We're only putting a minimal amount back into reserves, about 100,000. Ideally, we would be strategically investing in other reserves for the future. Simultaneously, where there's a budget deficit, so we haven't and that's due to the REC's unpaid invoices. So even though significant rate increases, my concern is that we're still not finding ourselves in a better position financially than what we were in previous years. That is, we're investing in our workforce, and that may be the right thing. I question that. These are the reasons why I wanted to have some discussions with the CEO. And back on the quickly workforce, I'd really like to, in coming weeks, months, establish a workforce plan with the CEO. I think that's crucial. It's hard as a councillor to be told that you're only being funding 85% of the workforce, but I don't really have a document to understand what that workforce is. So what's 85%? What is 100%? What's 50%? I don't see that. It's really good. Last week we received the organisation chart listing the employees, but I'd like us to really have that writing document as soon as possible. So with that, and with, sorry for waffling on a little bit, I can't support the budget as presented today for those reasons, and that's not to take away from the enormous effort from the staff, as other councillors have said, and what I said earlier. I think it's a really good document. We've had more information than we've ever had before to guide us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Skender. Where was I? Councillors, do I have any further speakers for the motion? Further speakers. Councillors, I have a very, very sad feeling I'm going to be caught in the middle of something here. I've gone, in the last week or so, I've gone from supporting this budget to not supporting this budget to trying to work out what on earth are we going to do. And I thought last night, I got some ungodly hour, I thought, no, wait and listen to the rest of the council and see what they've got to say. That's the easy way out, and I'm being 100% honest here. And I must, once again, like everybody else, thank Amanda and the staff for the work they've put into this budget. I think it's very, very good. In fact, it's probably the best I've seen, and I think that's what's led to where we're at right now. And then I've thought back while I've been listening to everybody, and it comes down to, for the last 20 years, this council has never, ever stepped up and gone, let's give it a go. Let's give it a red hot shot. When is now a good time? When is now a good time to get the people that we need to lift us out of where we're at. And I think it's happening. I think now is it. I think we do have the capacity with the people to do that. And if we don't do it now, in 12 months' time, where will we be? If the staff perform the way they have in putting together this budget in the coming 12 months, I think we'll be in a way better place. But if we don't step up and give it that shot, I don't think things are going to change. We'll still be in a decline. So I gather from that, councillors, you'll understand that I'll be supporting this motion. So, thank you. Councillor Skender, would you? Councillor Maslow, would you like to close the debate?
Yes, Mr. President, and all observations and concerns, and I hope you understand, but
Cast.
without going over old ground again, you addressed one point there to the workforce, increase in workforce and wages and what have you. Well, that also is the same workforce that the majority of all live and spend locally in this town, supporting shops, supporting the eateries, buying their vegetables, that, you know, they say a lot of that is all going back into the local economy. So, in line with the President's statement, the rate increase of 8.5% to 10% across endorsed at the Shire Council meeting 20th of the 5th, 2025, are not taken lightly. However, they are necessarily to realign the Shire with its long-term financial plan and recover from several years of minimal or no increases. Previous decisions not to implement planned increases have resulted in an estimated $3 million in lost revenue. So I'm comfortable that we're getting off at this level because of previous years we've cut back, and if you average it out over the last 3, maybe 4 years, it brings it back into line with a more conservative 7%, probably a bit under. So without going over further ground, I've listened to your concerns. I believe we've been well informed, really well informed. We need to give them the tools to do the job. So I urge all councillors to support the budget or the officer's recommendation as put. Debate's closed.
Thank you, Councillor Maslow. Councillors, thank you so much for the debate. I think it's been probably the best budget debate I've been part of. So without further ado, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? 1, 2, 3, 4. All those against? Thanks, guys.
Call it, please.
5-4 in favour.
5. No, that's 5-3.
5-3, sorry. 5-3 in favour, Mr Ryan. Sorry, people.
Another one.
You inked me. I inked myself, sorry.
Just,
Winner, winner.
sorry,
Sorry.
clarification, sorry, 5-3, so is that, was there a casting vote?
No,
No,
Okay,
that's an absolute majority.
yeah, that's good, just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Because it looked like,
You look
you thought it was, yeah, from here.
So just for clarity, that was all, was that moved all on block?
Yes.
Was that one of 1, 2 and 3 and 4?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the entire
I
item.
want another go at it.
You want to go again?
No.
Councillors, once again, thank you very, very much. Looking forward to the next 12 months. I hope you all are. But what I must say, and it was brought home to me only minutes ago, we all must really do our job as well, that we are really aware of where we're at all the times and really taking notice of what's going on and ensuring that we are on top of it. So these guys need our oversight. We need to have our noses in, their fingers out. And I think we can, I honestly think we can make this happen. So thank you. Meeting closed.
10:40. Okay, thank you, councillors. If you like.